Hello, hello everybody. This is Takedown Wrestling. I'm Tony Hager, and this is Phil Keddy, and we're talking a little Agon 5 with Phil Keddy here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Can't
Good.
complain.
That's good. Well, you got a big bout coming up, and I'm sure you've been training against Deron Wynn, and this is you have wrestled him before. You wrestled him back in 2012, so it's been a little while since then. But have you prepared yourself? You've only wrestled him once, but have you got enough film on him to where you feel like you've been prepared for him?
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where you make sure you're always making yourself better and improving, but you have to be aware of what your opponent's good at and the things he does. So you kind of uh, remind yourself of those things and just train and work on making sure you're ready to go and get and improving every day.
And you've been with the Hawkeye Wrestling Club since 2011, around that range, because you graduated in
Yep,
10, right? So you've
correct.
been you've been on the international scene for quite a while, and you've seen the rules change. How have these new rules affected your style from going from college to the old international rules to now, yeah, a lot more scoring going on?
I think it benefits me a lot because it allows you to be more aggressive. It's okay to make mistakes because you could come back from them. And I think before, where the wrestling was with periods, you had to be very conservative and maybe cautious and kind of hold back if you had a lead, and it just made it a little bit more boring in my opinion. So I think it helps a lot when you can just go out there and wrestle and compete freely. I think it makes everybody a little bit better.
And do you feel like there's other changes that should be made to the rules, or is the Hawkeye Wrestling Club pretty happy the way it is? Because that's kind of the way the Hawkeye style has always been, is trying to push the points. And um, do you feel like there's more changes that need to be made to the rules?
I really try not to focus on it, even when it was periods. I try not to think about that. You just kind of train with the rules that are set. There's nothing we can really do to change it. So focus on competing the way um, and learning how to win the way the rules are. You got to go out there and score points, and that's the number one goal. And so just focus on winning. However you got to do that, and that right now that's with the rules we got.
And you'll be able to. Your guys are wrestling freestyle rules, international rules at Agon here next Friday. And do you think if you would you have taken the bout if it would have been folk style?
Yeah, I think I would have. There was a lot of things I liked about folk style wrestling. Uh, I was kind of known for being good on bottom, which is kind of a weird skill, but and it doesn't really can't really take advantage of that in freestyle. There is no escape point stuff like that. It's more of a defensive position in freestyle. So I would have taken it. It would have been different. I train with our college guys a lot, and you get to wrestle that folk style anyway. So yeah, I think I would have taken it anyway.
And being available to be in the room and work with these guys, you had a lot of success yourself. You're a three-time All-American, and you had a lot of success with the team. You were luckily enough to be on a team that won three NCAA titles and three Big Ten champions. And since you've graduated and how things have gone for the Hawkeyes, this year, didn't go the way that the Hawkeyes and the Hawkeye fans want to go, obviously, and there's always room for improvement. And second place is nothing to be ashamed of, I think, and that's where it kind of gets cloudy as people are upset. But at the end of the day, the Hawkeyes got second place at the national tournament. There's a lot of other teams. I mean, there's teams with negative scores at St. Louis that would kill for a second place finish. So, but that's just the mentality of the Hawkeyes, and a part of that also is the reason why a lot of people kind of don't like the Hawkeyes. This really is a great bout of Iowa against the world, and the other wrestlers that are going to be on this card, you get to train with, and you get to travel internationally with. How great is it to be a part of this team on the Hawkeye Wrestling Club that you grew up with at the college level?
It's a great point. The standard at Iowa is it's just a high standard. Nothing, you know, but the best is expected from the fans and from the coaching staff and from ourselves, and that kind of elevates your level in one way or another. We're expected to win, and Like you said, when we get second, even though people are like, "Oh, you still got second," well, it's hard not to feel disappointed in that. You know what I mean? So, and that's a standard that's held in our Hawkeye Wrestling Club. It's not to, we're not training to win a medal. You train to win a gold medal, and that's kind of um, how we think. And then maybe if you're close, then you win a medal, and that's kind of how it goes. But it's just great. You've got great fans. We got an event that's close to home. It's in Cedar Rapids, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of great fans around, and that's because of the University of Iowa wrestling program that we have such good fans.
How great of an opportunity for you to be able to showcase what you've done in front of Hawkeye fans again. It's something that we don't get to see the Hawkeye Wrestling Club wrestlers, wrestle live a whole lot on our home turf, and there's stuff out in LA and Vegas that are coming up that people can travel to, but not a whole lot in Iowa, and that's where the heart of the Iowa fans are, and some of them travel well. But how excited are you to be able to wrestle for the greatest fans on earth again, the Hawkeye Wrestling family?
Yeah, it's exciting. Like you said, we don't get this opportunity very often. A lot of our competitions are overseas, and stuff like that. So being able to wrestle right here in Cedar Rapids again, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of the same fans that were watching us in Carver when we were in college. So I'm excited. We want to go out there and wrestle and give them something that's exciting to watch.
Yeah, there's no travel involved, so I'm sure that's a sign of relief, and you're getting paid to do it. And the Global Wrestling Championships are coming in. Is your bout that you're wrestling with Duran? Is it a belt matchup? Are you wrestling for a belt, or do you know those details yet?
I do not know any details about that. I haven't heard anything. Not that I know of.
Yeah, and I personally don't know either. There's just kind of some talk about them working with Global to some of the bouts are going to be for a belt. And let's talk about your opponent again. You haven't wrestled him since 2012, and back when the rules were 3 periods, you won the first period, he won the second, and you came and finished it off and won the third. And you're supposed to wrestle him at the trials, but he didn't make weight, so you're going to get that opportunity to wrestle him again. What does he pose as a threat to you when you wrestle him on Friday? What are you looking for?
He's shorter than me, which is rare for me to wrestle a guy that's shorter than me at this weight class. So he's real explosive and keeps a low level. So I got to make sure I do a good job staying down in my stance. And I think just going out there and wrestling and doing the things I'm good at and focus on my skills and my attacks and keeping a high pace is really what I'm looking to do.
And when it was part of taking this bout, taking this matchup, you're at 86 kilograms. He's above you. Was that a big part into? Were you going to take this match no matter what, or did you guys come to terms on what weight class you were going to wrestle at? And can you share that with us?
Well, actually, since they moved the weight class up to 86, Duran has dropped down and been wrestling at 86
Okay.
kilos. He hasn't. I don't think he's officially made scratch weight, but so he's made 88 kilos, and this is pretty close to 88 kilos, which we're weighing in. So technically, we're in the same weight class. We'll wrestle the same weight class at the trials, as far as I know. But when I took the bout, I actually didn't know my opponent yet. It was one of those things where they got me because they wanted to be Iowa versus the world, and then when they were looking for my opponent, they kind of basically just cleared it with me or who I was going to be wrestling.
Is this your first official, professional match and this type of event? You've been to some international tournaments, but an event like this, could you call yourself a professional now?
Yeah, this is my first one where you basically the quote unquote money match, where you get paid just to wrestle one match. It's nice. You can prepare for it. It's one bout, instead of a tournament, you got to win, you know, 4 or 5 in a row and stuff like that. So it's nice. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on these professional leagues for the wrestlers? I mean, I would assume it's nothing but the best, but is there, certain professional leagues that are out there that are intriguing to the wrestlers? I've always kind of wondered that because there's a few different uh, tournaments or events that are out there, and all the rules are kind of different. What is it about Aegon that you're so excited about wrestling in it?
Well, I like that it's the rules that we have to compete in internationally in freestyle. I like that. But really, I think that they're all positive. They're all good, a good way for wrestlers to who are training to compete internationally and after college to make money and to um, compete. So I think all of them are good. I like this Agon event because, like I said, it's got the same rules that we're competing in now that matter. But really, they're all good for wrestling, in my opinion.
And I think fans, if you want to see more of these professional fights in your home turf, you got to come out there, buy your tickets, agonwc.com, get the pay-per-view. If you can't make it, it's an event that you're not going to want to miss. If you're a Hawkeye fan, you better be there. If you're somebody that's just a fan of somebody hating the Hawkeyes, you're going to have a good card here of guys that are going to give these guys all they can handle. What's the biggest bout beside yourself, your bout with Win, that you're excited to watch?
I'm excited to see, the two headliners with um, Metcalf and Pico will be fun to watch, I think, and then also seeing Cejudo wrestle again with Ramos. I think that's a interesting bout just because Cejudo's not competing in wrestling anymore. So, um, so a lot of things to see, like you said. If you hate the Hawkeyes, come root against us, fill those seats, and cheer against us. The hostile crowds, guys heckling's fun too. So, you know, I think it'll be enjoyable event and lots of entertainment for everyone who comes.
100%. And then what also is really exciting for Hawkeye fans is they get to see the future of the Hawkeye team. Some of the lighter weight guys, Marinelli, Meja, and Kemmer that are going to be competing. And as you get to see these guys come in the room in the recruiting process, and have you had to be able to get a chance to talk to those guys? I know they're maybe a little lower weight than you, but do you get a chance to talk to those guys?
Really, just on their recruiting trip, we get to see them, stuff like that. Can't have too much contact with those guys as far as when they're being recruited, stuff like that. But when they come in, once they get into the room next year and stuff like that, we'll really get to know them better and see what they're like, and basically, see how tough they are, stuff like that.
See if they've got
But for
that.
them, yeah, for them, it's going to be pretty cool. They're going to get their first taste of, Iowa Hawkeye fans. So that's pretty exciting for them.
Well, it just shows that they're coming here for the love of the sport, not getting paid. They're here to show, and all these guys are ranked number one in the nation now. So they're defending their number one title, and I'm real excited about that. But I think Hawkeye fans that have been throughout this whole journey through the national championships teams and then kind of where it's been going to are excited to see you compete again. It's been a long time since fans have been able to get to see you on the mat, and I really hope a lot of people come out and enjoy it. Again, fans, you can go to agonwc.com, get your tickets. And Phil, tell everybody where they can find you online, Twitter account, all that good stuff. Are you on the social media?
I'm on social media, but I don't have Twitter. All I have is Facebook. So
You're gonna have to get it. You're gonna have
I,
to get it at some
everybody
point.
keeps telling me that. Metcalf broke down a couple years ago and got it, but I still haven't done it. So maybe
If Metcalf can get it, you can get it, I think.
maybe I'll get Twitter one of these.
Well, I want to thank you on behalf of everyone here at Takedown Wrestling. Wish you the best of luck next Friday, and then on international success down the road, because we know that you're not gonna hang it up anytime soon. Thank you for being on.
Thanks, I appreciate it.